And we are live-ish, kinda, because I'm not really doing it live stream, but I'll put it on YouTube and Spotify, and then we'll be live on there here in a minute. But let's not talk about that, guys. Fellas, my fellas, Victory Tuesday. Victory Tuesday. Sorry we didn't get it up on Monday. If I'm being completely honest with you, came off sober October pretty hard Sunday. Sunday night games are brutal because, I mean, out here, the first game starts at 10, and I tried to hold off, and I made it all the way to halftime of the second game before I got to Thunderbird to see the gang. And, allow me to put this. There it is, the victory banner. The Cincinnati Bengals 24, Buffalo Bills 18. Folks, we're 5-3. We're sitting good at 5-3. And we still need a little work. We still need a little work to get, playoff positioning and even get into the playoffs. But, 5-3 after that 0-2 and a couple other things. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about it. Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty. 348 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's back, man. Like I'm giddy, dude. He is back. You can't deny him anymore. You know, I was very much one that I was talking some nonsense. But I had a right, guys. I didn't I, I'm cool with him playing now. I wasn't too cool earlier, but I'm in now. And as Andy Ruther says, your boy is drinking all the Kool-Aid now. I'm back. Drinking water because I'm trying not to drink again until Sunday. But let's talk about other things. Obviously, Joe Burrow. He's back. And I don't have it right now. It's out. I was gifted a full-size salute to service Joe Burrow helmet today. It's the coolest thing. Folks, I am a case away from having a backdrop. But I still got this backdrop. I like this backdrop, dude. It's fun. I got the stripes now. The stripes means solo episode. So I did want to get a Bengals fan on, and I just honestly didn't. Didn't even try. Next week I will. I got to find a Texans fan. That's weird. There's no Texan fans. Have you ever met one? They're like Rutgers. Like Ohio State played Rutgers. And I was just like, no one cheers for Rutgers. Who's a Rutgers fan? And the Texans are the same way. Like, who? My buddy Kevin, my dude K Dog, he just got a Texans hat, so he says he's a Texans fan. But, he's not. I got to tell him how Texans are doing. I'll tell you what, though, and we'll get back to this. But CJ Stroud, dare we say he's putting the Buckeyes NFL quarterback stereotype to rest. And I was talking to my boy Dustin Holdren, and the funniest part about this is out of all the other Ohio State quarterbacks that have gone to the NFL that didn't succeed, I thought for sure Stroud was just in that group. He wasn't even my favorite when he was playing at Ohio State. And I'm eating some crow. Rightfully so, though. So we'll see what he's got next week. We'll see what he's got. I think any Bengals fan knows that it's these games that are well, every game's important now. But there's something about the Texans game that it has it has it just has like upset written on it. But I'm just talking nonsense. Joe Burrow's not going to let that happen. And then we're going to go to Baltimore on Thursday night in Baltimore. Grab that W there. Get one back from them. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's talk about the game. Guys, and this always happens, of course. On the last episode, I wanted to say, give me an Irv Smith anytime touchdown. Knowing the type of ball player that Joe Burrow is, when he knows, I mean, come on. He knows what's being said about Irv Smith. I knew deep down that he was going to get in the end zone. I think Burrow does that on purpose too. He knows that that's our man the rest of the year now, unless we find someone on free agency. And I think Burrow did that on purpose. I think he knew he wanted more than anything to get Irv Smith in the end zone. And I'll be damned if I didn't truly believe that he was going to get an anytime touchdown. I'm not even going to say the first touchdown. I just thought he'd get one. And he did. And I'm kicking myself in the butt for not putting that bet down. My parlay hit until T. Higgins' touchdown got called back. I had Burrow at least 2 touchdowns, Higgins over 4.5 catches and over 65 yards, but I had he'd get in the end zone. So needless to say, I got super excited when he dove into the end zone. But what are you going to do? We'll get my parlay next week. Shout out to my boy Vincey. This guy, we were at the bar Saturday night, and he's a Raiders fan. My guy just threw a G down on the Raiders. He was like, hey, I'm going to win some money. And he had a couple in him. But anyone that he talked to that night, he was saying Raiders, lock, drop some money on them now. So just to be a nice guy, I threw 20 on them. And yeah, they hit. They hit big. But congrats to Vincey. And congratulations with your new found career as a gambling advice giver. Back to the game, man. I'm all over the place tonight, man. I knew Irv Smith was going to get a touchdown, and Joe Mixon. It's funny because even the score makes the 24-18 still makes that game sound a lot closer than it was. And it was a lot of, as I say, discipline. The discipline wasn't there in the first half. A lot of plays get called back. We had lined up for a field goal, jumped, had to punt it away. You got to get them points on the board, especially against Buffalo. And also, is the Buffalo thing done? Can we move on from any comparisons with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow now? Like, I'm not even saying this in a shit talking matter. Like, it's Joe Burrow has your guys' number. Every game, even that, horrible game, Monday night game, even before that, guys, we were there. Me, Andy, Prano. Yep, he wasn't losing that game. Dude, those first 2 drives, that stadium it was playoff football that night. Obviously, we know what happened. But I do, like I was talking about in the preview episode, I do think Burrow holds a little chip on his shoulder still from that, how the whole "better send out the refunds." That was a cool thing he said. You guys remember that? That was pretty cool. You know what wasn't cool in that game? And I'll give Buffalo fans this because I'm with you guys. Josh Allen's rushing touchdown was cool. I liked it. I liked the play setup. I liked the little point at the DB that he got in the air. Can we stop with the taunting penalties? Like, I was embarrassed as a fan to even take that penalty. I don't understand how a quarterback points at a man that he just shook as he's going into the end zone and they a 15-yard penalty for that. But someone recovers a fumble or gets an interception and the whole damn team runs down to the other side and they're doing a Broadway show in the end zone. And that's fine. What are we doing? You can't point, just point at a man that you just shook. That's 15 yards. How dare you? We should fine you for ever doing that. But doing river dance, it's all fair. Speaking of picks, uh, who was it that got it? Cam Taylor-Britt. He looked great. And Mike Hilton had 10 tackles as well. These DBs are playing some ball. Little suspect at times, of course. But, you know, I made the call in the Dirty Sports. Some of you guys probably heard it. Andy told me, and that's where the Kool-Aid comes from. Andy told me after the 49er game I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. And I was. I still am. I'm drinking more now. I'm like Bert Kreischer, just drinking gallons of Kool-Aid a day. Orange flavor, too. Actually, orange might be the nastiest Kool-Aid flavor. But I'm drinking all of it. And Andy told me to chill. And I told him, hey, pal, in 2021, you told me the same thing. And we went to the Super Bowl that year. And I made the call and said, I reminded him of that. And I also said that this team is better than our Super Bowl team. More experience. I mean, Joe Shiesty has 2 more seasons under his belt now. He's, and Andy brought up on Dirty Sports that he didn't necessarily say it was a horrible take. So I'll give him that, Andy and Randy, it's kind of on the same page. But he did bring up that, we don't have, Von Bell, Jesse Bates. Some of our DBs are gone. So these new DBs have had to step up. And I don't think they're playing lights out, but they're playing. I mean, we're on a win streak. We're playing good football. So, give that to them. I do want to apologize to Bengals Nation. I do think I jinxed Sam Hubbard this game for buying his jersey. But what's funny to me, Sam Hubbard's stat line, no tackles, 1 quarterback hit. He didn't get the tackles, but he was still a problem for Buffalo's line. There's a lot of he calls for a lot of attention now. So I thought that was, I apologize for the stat line though. I take full blame for that and do think that me buying a Sam Hubbard jersey from the NFL shop and not the Chinese sweatshop was my fault. So sorry about that. I bought this shirt I'm wearing now too from the NFL shop, which is crazy. It's just funny because I did the whole sober October to save money, and yet now I got like 4 new Bengal shirts. But this one's pretty sick. Come on, the vintage logo. All right. Obviously the white uniforms are insane. But sometimes I wish they'd bring this logo back on a helmet or the B. Let's just, one game. We'll just pay the fine, whatever you got to do. Got that talked about. So speaking of Kool-Aid, I'm not the only one drinking it. Dave Portnoy over at Barstool threw down 67,000 today to win 1 million on the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. He also tweeted out his top 5 power rankings, and it was 1 through 4 Bengals, 5 Eagles. So it's starting. We're starting to be noticed again. I did notice for the first time, I think since week 1, that we are back in the top 10 again on power rankings. Telling you guys, drinking all the Kool-Aid. I got one of these little gallon things. Can you see it? I got that. I was drinking from when I was doing a water fast. Might have to start just carrying Kool-Aid around in that thing because I'm drinking it. I'm going to figure it. Definitely going to have a Kool-Aid guy for the picture for this podcast because we're all drinking the Kool-Aid. But Dave Portnoy, that's cool. He says all this stuff about Michigan and it irritates me, but I'm like, hey, I like that. I like when you talk good about the Bengals. So keep that up, Barstool. So not going to make it about a 21 minute episode today. Let's talk about, we have the Texans. Like I said, I got to find a Texans fan. It's going to be like finding Bigfoot. I don't know. But we're going to get one. And if not, kind of got another guest I would like to have on later this week. I've already had Andy, so we'll, I know we're not playing the Giants, but it's always fun to podcast with Prano, so I'll hit him up, see if he'll come on later this week. We'll talk, and we can just, talk about other games going on. It's fine. As far as the Bengals, Houston, it would be nice, 6-3, because we're also, you have the Browns and Ravens playing. So we have to cheer for the Browns, which, it's insane to me that if the NFL ends right now, all 4 AFC North teams are in. So the Steelers are taking on Green Bay. So that Green Bay could do it. I think Steelers are a 3-point favorite and the Ravens are a 6-point favorite right now. So, yeah, it's going to be AFC North's wild, man. It's wild. And me and Andy were talking today. And it is, those early games are killing us right now. If we would have, one of those wins, We could have won. I mean, like I said, I don't think we were coached properly. And I yeah, if we could have just beat either the Browns or the Ravens. Look, we got breaks beat off of us by the Titans. So I don't even that game, all power to the Titans. You guys got that game. But this Joe Burrow now, he could he could have won one of those games at least. And I know Browns fans. I know the record against you guys. Relax. But I'm just saying, we'll see you guys in week 17. So that'll be we got to get that one back. We got to get the Ravens back. And we need I mean, do I pray that we all right, I don't pray. Do I really badly want to have a repeat of last year and we just win out? Of course. But let's pump the brakes on that. I like Burrow's attitude on it's got to be you're 1-0 every week. That's it. Let's do that. So let's get this win. Let's hope for some I mean, the Baltimore win would be that would be huge. Let's hope for that. And yeah, I guess that's all I can really say. I mean, Pittsburgh, Green Bay could do it. They got 3 points on them. I don't know. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh completely, but I do. I like their quarterback. I think he's young. He could be something. I also think Jordan Love might be able to pull something off there in Green Bay. So, yeah, we'll see. NFL's interesting, man. The AFC is just the traffic jam on who's getting in. So, I mean, those two losses, AFC, those two conference losses or division losses, sorry, are just awful. But we got to make with what we got. So it's a good day. It's a great day. Sorry for being one day late on today's pod. Boy had a hangover. I'm drinking the water, drinking the Kool-Aid for sure. And I want you guys to drink the Kool-Aid with me. We're going to go Heaven's Gate. The Heaven's Jungle is what we'll call it. That's the name of this pod, Heaven's Jungle. And we're drinking Kool-Aid. Some of you guys are way too young to understand that reference, but I like it. I'm pretty funny. So, all right, fellas, I'm calling it an episode. You guys have been great. It's another episode of Justin in the Jungle. I'll see you either Thursday or Friday. Till then, hoo-day.